What's going on, guys? Greg here. I got another video for you today. This is going to be on a Black Series Kylo Ren Force Effects lightsaber that was originally converted by another member of the community who I'm not going to mention because I don't think he deserves to even have his name mentioned, to be honest. But he did the original install, and I did a review on him and his services because they're atrocious. There were a bunch of problems with the saber when I got it. There was a messed up switch. There was broken positive LED wire, broken recharge port wire. The recharge port was inside of a bunch of tape. It was really ugly. There were some aesthetic problems that I can't fix, obviously. Like, he drilled and tapped the LED retentions on the top, as you can see there and there, instead of doing just another one on the bottom, like further inside, which kind of baffles me, but whatever. He put this giant ass 12mm tactile, or not tactile, switch there, just a round switch, which I think is kind of stupid. But yeah, so this saber was less than perfect, and the biggest issue with this saber was that he didn't wire properly. He did tri-crease, if you can see there. He did tri-crease all around on a Prizm. This is a Prizm 4.0, which is fine, except you need to have a power extender, and he didn't do that, which obviously was a problem. And so what would happen is that you would turn the saber on, he would just constantly have just blaster blocks. Yeah, so again, like I said, that's an issue. So I'm selling this saber, obviously, after you see this video, for a really, really cheap price, because as you're going to see, it works. It works like 95% of the time. There are still some issues with it that only happen here and there. Like, every once in a while, the blaster will act up, and you might see on this video, you might not. But you're gonna basically, I'm selling this so just to make a little, not to even make profit, actually. I'm actually gonna be losing money, but just to give it a home, because I don't need it. For someone who wants a nice saber that I've fixed up, and I'll put my warranty on the new wiring, for not a lot of money. Just maybe for your kids, I don't know, whatever you want to use it for. But like I said, so it'll be a nice saber for a pretty cheap price, which will be nice for whoever gets it. So let's see. So this is what I did to the saber, and I have a couple small things to do. Oh, I didn't even finish talking about the LEDs. So in order to fix the LEDs, they were originally wired where all three had double red and a white flash on clash. And if you want to do no power extender, you actually have to cut out two of the LEDs, which I did. So now it's a tri-cree in the front with a white flash on clash, and then just single red dyes on the two side blades with no white flash on clash. They still stay lit up, obviously, but there is no white flash on clash, which to me is actually more accurate, because these don't get interacted with another blade during a lockup or during a blaster, so like technically they shouldn't flash white. But that, again, is how you see it. So if you want access to the recharge port, you take your pommel out here, obviously, and then you can look in, see your speaker, and then just a couple shakes. And this is the solution I came up with. And remember that this was more of a fix-up that problem. This wasn't a my build. So a lot of this is how it was originally built. Actually, no, I take that back. None of this is how it's originally built except the chassis itself. I redid all the wiring. When I took this out, these wires were all way too long. They were in a big cluster. They were just thrown together with tape. There was a recharge port that was like, there was glue and tape that was holding it together. These were all strewn about. These wires were all just like horribly soldered. You don't have to take this off, but I'm doing this for the purpose of the video. This will keep it so that the chassis is the same size as the inner diameter. So you want to leave that on. So a quick breakdown so the customer knows what they're getting. I took an old chassis piece that I had lying around, and I drilled a 1.2mm recharge port hole into here. I put the recharge port in, I threaded it on like normal, and then I allowed a passageway right here for the wires to run through. And I know it's let me see if I can get it up just a little bit closer. So the wires essentially just run through and are protected, and then run into the saber, and again, they're twisted like wires are supposed to be twisted. They're not just thrown in there like they originally were. And then I brought the wires back. I checked every single solder joint, because again, the ones that the original installer had done were horrible. I redid your positive wire for your LEDs. I redid your negative to the board because they were underneath and they broke. I redid your what can I think? Your speaker wires, the battery. I checked every solder joint and I made sure they were good. And once I approved them, so to say, I let them be. And then I use zap straps here and here. And I'm going to add, before I give this to customer, I'm going to add one more up in here. I haven't done that yet because I've just been busy messing with the Saber. But I'm going to add another one, maybe even two up in here, just to make the wiring even better and a little bit neater. So right now this is already booted on, but you would normally just take out your kill key, or it's a twist kill key. So
I'll show you the dark side.
There you go, 28mm bass speaker. And yeah, and so when you want to put this in, you can normally leave this on. I just took it off again just for the purposes of the video. Get it as tight as you can. Do not wrap it over the board. You want to just wrap it right inside on this lower lip. Then you want to, I'm going to try and show this on camera. I just hold it in. I make sure everything is moving smoothly. There you go. Hold this here. And then just, you'll work it in. And like I said, eventually it'll go in. You know, I'm not pushing very hard. Every once in a while, and that might have happened there. Let me check. And so this is the one thing that happens that could be a little bit annoying, and I'm going to check just for the purpose of the video. Every once in a while, see, it didn't do it. Every once in a while, the SD card pops out when you push it in because of just like the space of the hilt. I think it's happened to me once in the 4 or 5 weeks, but I do want to like kind of like disclose that. There we go. So sometimes you have to just kind of mess with it, and that's to make sure that you get it in the right way. Let's see, let's try this one more time. There we go, that's better. And you have your pommel. Again, the original installer kind of messed with this. Whatever, I don't know, it's gross, but it works. So back on there. And like I said, so before I fire this up, remember, so that's your tactile tactile aux button. This is your activation button. And like I said, we'll see what happens. Actually, let's just fire it up and see what happens. Okay, so no issues as you saw. So we have single Cree. Can't really tell, but it's a single Cree, tri Cree. I was kind of messing with it, so yeah. Single, tri with. So like I said, it's behaving 99% of the time, but every once in a while you'll get those blasters will just like keep going for a second, and if it happens, just shut the Saber off, turn it back on. Like I said, I'm disclosing that now because I know it's not the perfect Saber, but I know from the installation side of things, from the electronics, from the standpoint of what I'm releasing to the customer, I know that it is good, and this is more, like I said, it's budget build where I've approved the electronics and fixed it for what it was, but I did not do the original install. So I like to make that clear. But again, like I said, fix it up as needed. So let's just go to the next sound bank.
Anything else?
And I don't know which ones, but some of these do have delayed ignition. And again, you can change that on the settings. So there you go. That one was one of them. That one more time, delayed. I'm just gonna scroll through a couple more. I think there are 2 fonts on here.
I will finish what you started.
But they're divvied up into 6 banks. So the first 3 banks I am I'm almost positive it's Kylo Ren TFA HD by Shamim, and the other 3 are Crossguard by K-Sith.
And when I kill you, I will have killed the last Jedi!
One more.
Did you come back to say you forgive me? To save my soul?
So yeah, that is just about it. Like I said, guys, if you have any questions, let me know. If there are ever any issues with the saber, I will be glad to take a look at it. This will have my full warranty in terms of the install part of the electronics that I have messed with. So I have, like I said, I've checked all the wiring, and I've checked all the board wiring and the battery and the recharge port. So all that is good to go. The LEDs as well, I've checked those. I said, if you didn't watch the full video, if you have any questions as to why this is such a low price, feel free to message me. Although if you're not watching the video, you probably won't hear this part. Yeah, so like I said, guys, I hope you enjoy this. I hope whoever the new owner is likes it and gives it a good home. Like I said, it'll be fun for your kids or something like that, because it is still a very good saber that normally would go for $400, $500, $600. And like I said, we'll see where we price it, and we'll go from there. All right, thanks, guys. I'll talk to you later.